You not so much like the actual acting, but more about like who would be a good mix with you, like who would have good chemistry with you and that sort of thing.
Right.
But it's always nice to have a family member who's in the business because then you.
Similar to relatives who choose to enter the same trade or business over multiple generations, some families share a love for theatrics and enter the entertainment industry together. Whether rising to stardom through their separate projects or choosing to star with one another in films, we sometimes don't even realize that celebrities are related until one brings the other up in an interview. Just like regular families, relationships between celebrity siblings are also filled with healthy competition, teasing banter, the rare expression of admiration, and, of course, some disagreements concerning politics. Somehow, knowing that these celebrity familial ties are so similar, yet so different, from our relationships makes them all the more interesting. Mostly for the better, and sometimes for the worse. These celebrity siblings had no issue giving us the inside scoop on their equally famous brothers and sisters. John and Joan Cusack. For John and Joan Cusack, being in the film industry was just like going into the family business. And John Cusack is, like most of his characters, an unconventional hero. Wary of fame and repelled by formulaic Hollywood fare, he has built a successful career playing underdogs and odd men out, all the while avoiding the media spotlight. John was born in Evanston, Illinois, to an Irish-American family. Except for Mom Nancy, née Carol Ann, a former math teacher, the Cusack clan is all show business. Actress Joan Cusack was born on October 11, 1962, in New York City, and is the daughter of Nancy, née Carol Ann, and Dick Cusack. Raised in Evanston, Illinois, Joan was actively encouraged to explore her creativity by her parents, and as a child, she joined the Piven Theater Workshop. While at university, Joan took some small film roles, but her big break came after graduation when she joined the legendary Saturday Night Live cast. However, she only stayed for one season before moving on to explore other projects. Joan produced a memorable turn in the acclaimed Broadcast News, 1987, and she earned an Oscar nomination for her performance in Working Girl, 1988.
Joan Cusack.
Other notable films include Addams Family Values, 1993, Karina, 1994, Grosse Point Blank, 1997, and In and Out, 1997, which earned her a second Oscar nomination. However, things were not the same for the two industry icons. John Cusack says the only way he knows he'll get to see his sister Joan is if he employs her to make a movie with him. In an interview with Daily News, the two actors discussed what it was like being raised in a family of entertainers. Joan: "It was a gift that my father knew the other side of things because he was in advertising. So you knew going into an audition that maybe the reason you didn't get the part was because the other person reminded them of their aunt or something, and that it's not personal all the time." John: "He never told me that. That would have solved a lot of problems." Damn. The two have worked together on numerous films, including War, Inc., which John helped write. When interviewer Ethan Sachs asked John what made him choose Joan for the role of an interrogator, the two had much to share on the project. John: "The same thing that made you think about her. Outsourcing, butcher, soldier-for-profit industry in a new age. Don't you mainly think about Joan? I know just knowing Joan, she can play deranged women with a glee that I knew would be fun to watch." Joan: "I'm so supportive and so admire his willingness to go out on a limb. If he can make a movie, then I'm just ready to go. I can think of a million different movies that would be cool to make, but the difference between me and John is I think about them. He makes them. It's very, very difficult to make a movie." John: "Yeah. Sometimes the only way I can get to see Joni is if I give her a call time." Joan: "That is so not true." John: "I know, but sometimes if you write her a part, you know you're going to get to see her for 4 weeks solid. She's an elusive character. It's very hard to pin her down. You have to employ her." Joan credits her brother for encouraging her throughout her career in the hectic industry. Maggie and Jake Gyllenhaal. Maggie Gyllenhaal and Jake Gyllenhaal are each other's biggest fans. From their family life to their successes in Hollywood, here's everything to know about Maggie Gyllenhaal and Jake Gyllenhaal's sweet sibling relationship. Maggie and Jake were born into the entertainment industry. Their father, Stephen Gyllenhaal, is a director who worked in film and television. Their mother, Naomi Foner, is a screenwriter who earned an Academy Award nomination for her adaptation of Running on Empty. The brother-sister duo were raised in Los Angeles and attended Harvard-Westlake School. The brother and sister duo, who are 3 years apart, often sing each other's praises and have both expressed a desire to work together. Following Maggie's directorial debut with The Lost Daughter in 2021, Jake admired his big sister. She's an incredible writer, and she's an incredible filmmaker, and I've known that for a long time, he said in May 2022. I would love to work with her. I'd love to act in one of her films, or wherever she needs me. The feeling is mutual for Maggie, too. I do want to direct Jake, she told the Los Angeles Times. Partially because it is really one of the most pleasurable things there is for me to offer freedom to an actor and love and then watch them. I would love to do that with my brother. I would love to create that space and offer the love. As they each forged successful paths in Hollywood, with both of them earning their own Academy Award nominations, Maggie and Jake have supported each other through their individual endeavors. The duo have been by each other's side at premieres and red carpets, and Jake has even babysat Maggie's daughters. I feel closer to him than I ever have, Maggie told Esquire. I'm so grateful for him. He seems so great lately. Generous and loving and really solidly there for me and my family. Emily Deschanel and Zooey Deschanel. The LA-born and bred Deschanel sisters' parents, a cinematographer and an actress, were in the industry too. Even so, what are the chances that both of them would go on to star in hugely successful TV series? Emily for 12 seasons on Bones and Zooey for 7 seasons on New Girl? We shoot on the same lot, so I'll stop by her trailer, Zooey said on Jimmy Kimmel Live when they were both filming their shows. But things weren't always so peachy with the sisters. When I was 3, she was 7, and she was already evil, Zooey joked on Jimmy Kimmel. Young Emily told Zooey that the Neptunians had killed my real sister and replaced her with a facsimile who looked just like her, talked just like her. But when my parents weren't in the room, she made crazy faces at me and talked like Vicky from Small Wonder. I was terrified, Zooey said. This is one of those bizarre sibling stories you won't believe are true. Elizabeth, Mary-Kate, and Ashley Olsen. Elizabeth Olsen felt like she had to work harder to prove that she was as talented as her twin sisters. As the younger sister of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, Elizabeth enjoyed being spoiled by her older siblings as much as she looked up to them for their careers and fashion choices. It's an amazing feeling being the younger sibling to twins. If I was spoiled by one, the other one wanted to match it. I loved it. I always felt that having older twin sisters was an advantage. Watching them made me very clear about how I would navigate many things. I also felt very protected. Everything my sisters have ever worn in my life, I have wanted to wear. Still, as an adult today, I want their coats. I want their shoes. I want their dresses. That is something that I never grew out of. Though she never got tired of playing the role of baby sister, Elizabeth also admits that she sometimes felt like she had to prove that she also deserved to have success in the entertainment industry. I always felt that presence of my sister's success. It caused me to work harder and maybe have a chip on my shoulder to be overprepared and disciplined, so I could feel like I was earning it. That feeling settled 5 years into working, but I had this need to be the hardest working student when I was in school. Lily and Alfie Allen. After being nominated for an Emmy for his performance on Game of Thrones, fans began to make the connection that Alfie Allen and Lily Allen were siblings. Though the revelation shocked some, others recalled that Lily had mentioned him in a much less flattering light on her first album, dedicating an entire song to his cannabis use. Her lyrics were pretty straightforward. "I just can't sit back and watch you waste your life away. You need to get a job because the bills need to get paid. Oh, little brother, please refrain from doing that. I'm trying to help you out, so can you stop being a twat?" Years earlier, the elder sibling had shared how her younger brother felt about the track. "When I wrote Alfie, nobody knew who I was. At first, he was upset about it because he thought that I was just pointing out all of his bad points and attacking him. I thought it was flattering. I thought he'd be happy because it proved to him how much I loved him, that I cared about him, and that I wanted him to do something with his life. I suppose his paranoia, induced by smoking so much weed, made him think, 'Why are you trying to be mean?'" However hurtful the lyrics seemed to Alfie at the time, Sister Lily was already aware of the impact they had on forwarding his career. When a Pitchfork interviewer asked if her scheme had worked, Allen replied, "Yeah, he's doing well. He's just done a film with Keira Knightley called Atonement." Fans of Theon Greyjoy might have Lily's lyrical push to thank for Alfie's unforgettable portrayal of the character.